one thing I can say now after watching this movie, there's only one Flash, and it's Grant Gustin's Flash. We saw the Flash.
Yeah, we did.
Why don't we like kick off with our ratings? What do you think about what will you rate the movie?
Probably a 7/10.
Nice. That's apt. It's a 7. It's just like right there. It's not too good. It's not too bad. It's just 7 is average to me. Like just average. That's where it is.
Yeah.
And did you like the movie anyway?
I was not too impressed, but it was quite okay. When I finished watching it, that was what I said. That was the first thing I said. And I would say, because I don't know, I don't have too much context, but for anybody that's just seen it for the first time, without any idea of what to expect or who's this person or who that person is and all of that, I think I don't know, I'm just saying, they might see it and be like, wow, this is a really good back to the past, different dimensions based off or changing a single thing here type of movie. Yeah. They would feel like it's a good movie to watch, and the understanding is quite easy to get from what is being explained in the movie by spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Yeah.
Using the spaghetti analogy to explain why changing something here, will cause a different time
shift
and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and still, he changed something here, cost the whole story, and changed something again at the end and started a new story.
Yeah.
You get?
Resets the way Gon likes where it's like he's going to reset the multiverse.
Yeah,
right?
Probably was why it was done that way. But yes, that can of tomatoes. A can of tomatoes was a big problem.
Yeah.
You get? As small as it is, as insignificant as it may seem, it actually was like a huge problem, honestly. But yeah, it's a thing with these little boys trying to mess with time. And
he still is a little boy.
Yeah.
He still is deep down.
Yeah. They have this, mentor that they can look at and do things somewhat how these mentors are doing their own things, but still.
They don't want to hear what.
They don't want to hear what. Just the way Spider-Man do his own. This one he's doing his own as well.
But they did not do anything major to stop these guys. Same thing with Doctor Strange. It's just like, oh, don't speak while I'm doing it. And then it's like, we let it happen.
Doctor Strange was reckless in my opinion. He shouldn't have even done that at all. Do you get? But Batman really did not have anything he could have done in that position. It's not like he was like, oh, I have this machine that you can use to go back in time, and he just spoke to him, having the sense that he's
told
going
him the truth.
Yeah, he's going to be responsible enough to not do that. So like, you shouldn't do this. It's but he felt he's responsible enough. That's just it. You get?
I mean, but we've seen.
But Doctor Strange put his hand in the situation, which he shouldn't have done at all.
That was very. It's very strange in Doctor Strange's situation that he let that happen. But I mean, Marvel, right?
Okay.
But Batman told him the truth. I feel he was vulnerable with him in that moment, telling him how he actually felt and saying we'll grab dinner sometime. The movie was nice. I still prefer the Flashpoint animation, and I don't know. I just feel it wasn't as meaningful enough as the animation. Now, the thing about the Flashpoint story, it's a simple story. You go back in time, you messed it up. You didn't mess it up for the greater. You didn't mess it up for good. You messed it up for bad, right? And then you have to deal with the issues you've had and reset everything. It's very simple, but the things that happen within that simple plot, oh my God, man. It was insane. Like at some times you need to brace yourself for what's about to happen. You just see something like, what? I didn't see that coming. I've seen it like 3-4 times, and I feel they brought that simplicity to the plot, to the story, but the execution was way too complex. Now, for one thing, I can say now after watching this movie, there's only one Flash, and it's Grant Gustin's Flash. I know the series might suck, the way the CGI and whatnot, but that's the only Flash out there, like in live action. He does it so well.
I think Ezra Miller did a cameo in that Flash. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. He did?
Yeah, I think so. I
didn't
don't
hear
know
about that.
But there's this thing that everybody is now trying to peek into this multiverse type thing.
That's what I was thinking about yesterday.
The funny thing now is DC had the obviously DC have done this before, like in the comics, before Marvel. But like everybody now wants to try and merge all of these different versions of Spider-Man, different versions of Batman, different versions of these superheroes, and
or just different version of life, like everywhere, everything.
They want to make it like a thing so that everybody will start having this idea when they're watching these things and like, oh, this is just happening in a different universe. Anybody that sees it now will just feel, whenever they are doing a different or a remake of a particular movie and they're using a different actor or a different actress or something, just okay, let's just assume everybody should think that's in a different universe. That somehow they can just come together in this multiverse type madness type of movie where you just bring in all of these cameos here and there, you throw them in. It's not kind of like a thing everybody wants to do.
It's a good thing. It's quite clever. DC does it a lot with the comics.
That's what I'm saying,
They end walls
like DC has
so
done
quick.
it before. So I'm not saying, anybody is copying anybody or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like it's
becoming norm.
It is the time.
For it.
It is the time right now. And
just like AI movies.
It's the time right now for them to do it, and it's the time right now for them to hack into it and find a way to make it work in in a beautiful way. The movie wasn't really bad, For some reason the comedy was not too much.
I felt it was like I have a very strong stance on the comedy in this movie.
Yeah,
that's even something I was going to get into, like the movie. So that seriousness that we could have gotten from Flashpoint.
This was actually a very serious thing.
It was things were happening.
I was watching
cracking jokes.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, why are you even sleeping?
Exactly.
Like, why are you sleeping? This is very serious and having adverse, effects on the world in general, but you're sleeping, like
chilling, just thinking about what to eat.
I'm like, you're supposed to be working with time. You're supposed to be like, there was no, all of those things were not shown in the movie. Generally, I feel when something like that is happening in real life,
urgency.
That urgency is supposed to be there. You're supposed to be very, very fast with every single thing you do because you feel you're trying to race against time. That somehow I wasn't feeling that urgency or that intensity.
Yeah, it's a good thing to point out. So there was urgency, but the Barry of that timeline was killing it at every turn. It's even like
the Barry that caused it.
The Barry he
was sleeping at some point when he woke up and Michael Keaton's Batman had coffee waiting for him. And I'm like, this is too serious for you to be sleeping.
Exactly.
You're supposed to be thinking of ways every single minute is counting. You're supposed to be thinking of ways to get this thing back to the way it was. But I don't know how to explain it. But at that age, you should be able to own up to your responsibilities and your mistakes. And he did this thing twice. Two times.
Two times? What about when?
No, when I mean twice. The first time was when he took the tomato from the shelf. That was the first time. And the second time when he put it on top so his father would look up.
You think he'd learn his lesson from the first time.
One. You get? And he felt that what he was doing was wise. Like, it was not wise at all. And now we have a new battle.
We're not going to give that away since the movie just came out, but it will shock you. Yeah. Like when he came out of the car and stepped in, I was like, holy shit, I was in the cinema.
I was even expecting to see Michael Keaton again. I was like,
Yeah,
that was what I
my
said. I
favorite
said Michael Keaton. I was like, and when I saw, I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, say less. Like, it makes sense. Oh man, and he still looks so good, but that's fine. We'll give it like a week, 2 weeks before we talk about how good he looks. But yeah, the humor in this movie, it's like, I don't know, there was no humor in the Flashpoint. It was like Attack on Titan level type of darkness, you know. And the way I see it is, I know it's done to appeal to a wider audience of people, right? Just let's add in some humor, get people that
now?
It's a problem, you know. It's like, instead of trying to appeal to everyone, why don't you appeal to the people that love the comics and also get people that might want to come in and then love the cinematic universe, not just every Dick, Harry, and Tom out there, you know. But money must be made.
I just don't like how that urgency, that fear, that intensity of the situation was not, you know, I just don't like it. You can see with Endgame and Infinity War, you could see how important it was and how urgent it was to get it. Even if time had passed.
Even there was still humor. Like when this guy, Scott Lang, became a kid, I was like, this is... It was funny to see, boy. It was funny.
But it's now something that is now a characteristic of all of these superhero movies where you are supposed to have some sort of seriousness to it. But then again, they're trying to make it funny and humorous and all of that.
It's like one person does it, then everybody jumps on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, this is probably the industry standard. Yeah, it's crazy. It poisons it somehow. I liken it to if you have a clean cup of water and you put a speck of dust inside, the water becomes contaminated. That's what's happening. That humor is contaminating it. And if it's the reverse, it doesn't help the water. If this water was contaminated and you put a speck or a drop of clean water inside, it's still wrecked. That's what's happening to the superhero movies.
So we should try and find this balance, in
between,
That I don't know how they would do it, but just find the balance so it just fits perfectly. You're not just trying to find like the point of it all and just wasting your time and all. But anyways, it was still an interesting watch.
It was. Something else I didn't like, and why I said Grant Gustin is the only Flash. CW, they don't have, I don't know, this might be a strong claim. I'm not sure about this, but I don't believe they have the type of budgets that the DCEU has or Warner Brothers has. I mean, obviously they don't have as Warner Brothers, but the way, because of that, they have a way to tell the story. They had to tell the story in a certain type of way. So if you notice in this movie, Flash does this thing called phasing, like passing through objects. And when he was doing it, they showed us how the molecules of the door and his own body molecules were passing through. It's like, we don't need to see that. When it was done in the Flash, it's just, move very fast, pass through the wall. He did it. Your mind will fill in that space, the gap between the visuals you're seeing and what's happening, to fill it up. And it's way better than showing us how it's done. Even the way the whole time stuff, it's cool to see. And I know they want to put their own spin on it. They have to tell the story in their own way. But making it a bubble that's moving around.
Reminded me, we saw Mission Impossible recently. There was something where the virus and the when it was attacking the cells and everything, it just looked like that.
It's like,
and that's something from 2000.
From way back then, it's like the movie became unnecessarily long because of those tiny additions and stuff. I don't know. That's just where I feel simplicity is the best way to go about it. If you watch The Flash has tapered off as the season comes out, but its rating is still high. It has an 8 point something and above. But till this day, I can watch season 1 and 2 of The Flash and just enjoy it because of its simplicity.
I enjoyed season 1. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed season 1. It was nice,
man. But this kind of...
And did you notice when both Ezra Millers were like insane, there was this...
CGI.
There was this part I noticed. It was just... There was this... Something with his face.
Yeah, it was when he was in the room. And he was in the room. Two of them were standing side by side, and then their roommates was saying something. One of their roommates. Yeah, I saw the droop in the face. So it's obvious that they're using a body double. I just
noticed there was just something different and very obvious to see if you know. But anyways,
it was a good movie. I mean, in my opinion, this is probably, other than the Zack Snyder movies, this is probably the best DCEU movie out there.
Oh, so yeah, happy with how it is.
It's better than the other one, so I'm okay with it. Like, I feel I feel it's a cinema movie, and I feel it's a movie that you need to rewatch on your actual TV screen, where you can pause and go back and stuff like that. There's some things that were weird. We're not going to, because we want to keep this spoiler free. Yeah. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice, definitely. If this is where we're starting from and trying to be optimistic, glass half full kind of, if this is where we're starting from and we're only getting better, I feel everything will be better. I can't wait to see Brave New World. I can't wait to see Gods and Monsters, the whole chapter and stuff. It's very nice. Yeah. There's one spoiler I want to drop, but let me hold myself, Let's leave it to that. So yeah. I mean, go see the movie. 7/10. Bad as a bad 6 or 6.8/10. So round it up, do the math. It's very nice. Yeah. So if you love this short review, please like, subscribe, drop a comment, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And check out our Instagram at pov.corn.
Support the movement, please.
Support the movement. That's at pov.com on Instagram. You can find us there. Drop a comment, check out our posts, and we'll see you again next week.